Welcome to CF 2.0 Geek Out, where we deep dive into ClickFunnels 2.0 and how to use it to grow your funnel building business.
Hey, I'm Susan.
And I'm Andrea.
Come along with us as we learn and discover how to use the new ClickFunnels and how to make it bend to our will.
So I think the big announcement is just that, Russell opened his certification program last week, and just a huge, so I was able to be on there for the interview, and it was just an amazing experience. But I think the coolest part is just like so many people came out of the woodworks to wish me congratulations and support. And just, I love this community. I love the ClickFunnels community. I just think they're solid, amazing people. And I so appreciate all of the love and support. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So he announced that last week. So we got in there, and today he goes live to kind of officially kick the certification track off. They've made the announcement that the new round of beta people are going to come into ClickFunnels 2.0 next week. So that is interesting. It's news. I still think that, we haven't seen a lot of changes on the 2.0 on the back end. And so it's interesting, that they're adding a bunch of these beta folks in. I guess we'll see what happens. And we did see, for the folks that were a part of it, some of the agencies that were a part of it, I did see that some of them have their 2.0 live out in the wild. So that was super interesting too. And so in doing that, what I want to show you is a behind the scenes. I always have to be really careful. I don't want to, violate any community member in the group. But I do want to just share the behind the scenes and the membership area of the certification program. And the reason is because, Susan, Dan, myself, we are deep into membership builds, right? In the ClickFunnels world. Susan and I talk a lot about, I was like, okay, this is a retention funnel, or I'm like, we need a funnelized fulfillment, or, I was looking up domains actually this week to be like, okay, how do we, just talk more about the retention and fulfillment part of this equation, which I know all of us are so passionate about. So anyway, I wanted to share a little bit about the membership area, just because I think it gives us insight, because it's built on 2.0, what might be possible. I have a feeling it's still hard coded, meaning it's not in there, but I think it's promising in terms of if we see it, then they're probably going to systematically get it in there. And it's the first time that we've seen this prediction of 2.0 being an actual platform be true. So without further ado,
this is exciting. This is like a really profound thing for me. I've been saying for a while now, like, we have to find a way to create communities outside of Facebook groups.
Yeah,
we have to, because not everybody likes to use Facebook. Not everybody likes to be on social media. And honestly, like, putting all your community eggs in one basket into the Facebook group communities is just a problem. It's just a problem area. And so that was a little bit of a teaser of what we're about to show you.
Yes. I still, on that note, I do think that you still have a cost of conversion, right? Like, because I've tried to set up Mighty Networks, and I've tried to set up, other community tools, and it just, people don't go there, right? Even like Discord, or you can maybe use Slack, or, Facebook communities seems to be the one where most people are already at. So it is very interesting in this community space what the tool is. So,
and I'll just kind of clarify, because we've talked about this before, and there's always like a big difference between, Facebook groups and communities for acquisition versus fulfillment and like delivery. Because if you're marketing on Facebook, and that is part of your strategy, is creating a Facebook group, and you're pulling people into your group, and that's how you're selling them into your thing, like, there's no replacement for that. Like, if that's your strategy, that's your strategy. But what I'm talking about is, once they've bought your course, or they've come into your membership program, or if they've come into your challenge, or whatever it is, that you don't have to use a Facebook group, that you can have them be, to me, there's this kind of disconnect of like, okay, I'm asking them to go log into my ClickFunnels membership area, but then in my ClickFunnels membership area, I'm asking them to go to my Facebook group to like participate over there. And it's like, you're asking them to go to multiple places, And
Mhm.
that feels, while that's what we've all been living with and it works to a degree, it's like disconnected. It's like, why
Yeah.
can't we just have it together? And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's maybe what we're gonna get.
Right. And so I think that, and I think just from an experiential standpoint, you're absolutely right, Susan. It makes sense that these things are together. I think though, from my experience, it's like unless somebody's paying about 5,000 or more for a program, they are not consistently in the program. And so part of the problem is that what Facebook groups do for us is it brings people back because we can alert them or message them or. So I think what would be starting, it's just really interesting space. And so like this is we'll see. So this is a community, and what they are using behind the scenes is Circle.io. And the reason is because Circle.io is the only community tool out there that has a completely open API. And so they're an interesting company, interesting story, but you can see it is completely not just embedded, but it's actually, I mean, ingrained like a true platform play into the membership experience of the certification program. So just super interesting. And I'm playing around with it, and right now I have my notifications. I can only get email, which email's like the bane of my existence. Like I avidly tell my clients we're not communicating via email because I will fail you. Like, so I have to figure out a way now of like, how am I going to get alerted? You know what I mean? And there are like mobile notification alerts and things like that I'll have to like experiment with. But yeah, so but this is again like the first time that we've seen this is a platform, you know what I mean? Like with Circle on the platform, not just a fancy embed. So that's super exciting to me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited because this is something that I've been obviously thinking about for a long time. And I'm like, if they don't figure out a way to make this work and work well, I'm gonna have to like figure out how to do it myself. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to hire people to help me figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I know we gotta kind of have to wrap it up
Oh, that's
early
great.
today, but also I wanted to like go into further admiring the navigation that we have. So we've
Yeah.
previously looked at the navigation into CCX. We've done videos where we've
Mhm.
talked about this and kind of dissected it. And so now it's cool to see it now in another program, another
Mhm.
membership site where it's
Mhm.
similar but different. So now we can kind of see like, okay, what are we going to have the ability to customize to each
Mhm.
of our courses and stuff.
Yep. And this is very kind of Kajabi like with the 3 levels. And I'm assuming that you can have infinite levels, but and then same like the cool thing I really like what they've done here is that in a certification program, it's like here's where you learn the stuff, here's where you actually get certified.
Yeah.
So that I really, yeah, I like a lot. And we can see, I do love like the separation of the logistical aspects of the course up here,
Mm-hmm.
which is just super, yeah, it just from a wayfinding standpoint is a really nice. I think that there's going to be a lot of really good discussions though in terms of the best way to start programs. I think the biggest mistake that I see most people make is they start with the logistics first. And I think that's exactly the wrong step to start with. The step that you want to start with is the identity, the invitation into the identity. That's the thing that you want to start with because they just got this momentum. I mean, Russell's presentation of this program was like one of his best. I mean, it was so good. I think Dan, I wasn't there, but Dan had mentioned that he used some of Dan, I think it is custom still. He had used some of the techniques that he did for the 10X, his famous 10X day.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it was so good, right? So you're carried through this momentum. You just put a crap ton of money down. And the very next thing that you want to do is you want to continue with the momentum, and the identity is the momentum play, not the logistics. And so, I mean, they've kind of done some identity around like Rainmaker, but they haven't actually asked me, like they haven't given me a choice to say, yes, I'm in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like they're missing this really critical identity agency step to me when people are coming in.
I think that is because we're getting into the weeds a little bit here on strategy,
Yeah.
but I think it's because people assume like, well, they bought it. Of course they're in.
Right. No,
But
no.
I
You've got
was
their money.
in enough to put my money up, but that doesn't mean
Exactly.
I'm going to stay and be committed or turn around and ask for a
Exactly.
refund or just never come back to it. Like you need to
Exactly.
constantly be recommitting people to your thing.
Exactly. Well, and let's all be honest with ourselves, right? When we actually sign up for a course, at the moment that we're actually signing up, what I think is actually happening is we're throwing money at an intention that we want out there, but we are not actually emotionally committing to it, right? We're doing the like logistical step of paying and the mental step of like, can I do this? Do I have enough time? Right. But none of that is like the heart sung, this is me. I can do this. Right.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I do think it's like a big misstep to not do that as the very first step in any program. But anyway, all that to say, so it's like, okay, how do we, it'll be so interesting to see all the all of the variations that we might be able to do in terms of like, how do we shepherd that customer journey, throughout with this model. But yeah.
Awesome.
Super
Well, I'm
interesting.
excited. It means we're making progress. They've got 2
Exactly.
now live things using membership sites, and I can't wait to be able to get my hands on it. Real quick, the last update is we gave this to you last week, but just as a reminder, they did announce that this coming week, sometime between the 6th and the 10th, I think we all kind of just are assuming it's going to be the 10th, is you want to read Dan's stuff in the comments and see
sure. Yeah.
what he's saying over there. But next week, we're expecting all of the people that are currently signed up to the beta to get access next week. If you don't know if you're signed up for beta, you probably aren't. People that were at Funnel Hacking Live last September and signed up there is beta, and people that signed up to this new Funnel Builder certification program are also the part of the beta. So if you are not one of those, you will have to wait a little bit longer. My hope, because we haven't really seen a whole lot of changes and improvements in the back end of 2.0, but my hope is that, and if they do or they do, if they don't, they don't, it doesn't matter. Eventually they're gonna do one, but my hope is that they do a big update before we all get our beta access, to kind of make some of the big changes that we've been seeing that they need to make, some big fixes, some improvements, fixing some bugs. But we'll see what happens. And if they don't, then that just means that it's gonna come later. So
yeah. Dan was just mentioning that the community is actually hosted on marketingsecrets.com and embedded in the membership. One thing that's interesting though, Dan, is that you would have to, on circle.io, you'd have to have a domain that you enter into that platform in order to use it. And so then it's you could, I guess, technically have a different domain that's embedded. It's just, I guess what I mean by the platform play is it just seems like it's more gracefully integrated in with like the users and the features and the links and the breadcrumbs than just like a regular kind of unintelligent separate, head, body, embed. But maybe Dan, we can have you on next week and we can talk deeper about that. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Dan, plan on it. Coming on next week with us. We can talk more about it. Yes. Dive into the code. Okay.
Love it.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching today. And we'll be back next week. We'll see. I mean, hopefully we all have our beta access. Those that are in beta will have access by next Friday. So we can talk more about that. We don't know what the rules are going to be. Like when they gave the limited access to the current people that have access, there was like a hard rule of like, do not show the back end. Now that they're opening it up to more people, we'll have to see what Russell tells us the rules are. Chances are we're probably still not going to be able to show the back end. I mean, so if you're part of the beta group, like just plan on right now, like don't go showing off the back end. Let's respect the rules and wishes of ClickFunnels and Russell and the whole team that spent so much time in building this. So okay, that's all. I'll get off my soapbox.
Well said. Yeah, well said.
All right. Talk to you later. See you next week.
All right. Bye, guys.